Okay, hi all. Let's start since most of them have joined. Okay, let me summarize what we have seen in the today's class. Like we have seen our class intro and software requirement. Yesterday we have seen in the first class again big data. So if you could remember, what are the
Are you sharing your screen?
one? Okay.
Not yet, right? Okay.
Okay. Now able to see?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, we have seen like big data. So what we have seen in big data is the challenges, storage, processing. Can anyone list out any points?
Cost.
Yeah.
And
Data loss.
Data security law.
Yeah. Okay, we have seen that big data. Why big data? Due to the increased volume, that is the size of data. Since the size of data is getting increased, so we need a concept of, we just came up with the concept of big data. So the challenge is, someone is unmute, can you mute the mic? Okay, thank you. Okay. So we have seen the volume of data is getting increased day by day. So there is a need of some technologies or terms that we need to work on this big data, big size of data, set of data. So the theoretical part of big data, have you got any basic understanding of big data? Anyone is still not clear like why we need a big data? What is a big data or something? Anyone? No worry. Today I will be running you through some of the examples. Yeah, sorry, who is this? Yeah, Ganesh, if you're speaking, I'm not able to hear you.
No, I said we are good.
Okay,
So,
great now. Thank you. So yesterday I just ran through this PPT, like what is big data, and for 1 minute, what is the data size or the data we are generating in the present world. So we have seen just an example like SPS Cinema. What was the use case? Like what was the issue they faced? The server got down, and they made an analysis with the available 750 GB of log. Came up with the conclusion that this was the issue. So no need to act on it since it's a one-day issue. Whereas in IRCTC case, it was different. So now they have implemented the big data with some set of tools using HBase combinations. So big data and politics I have seen. I have given a slight example yesterday, but today I will just go through in detail about this, how they implemented big data in the US politics. I will come to it. And we have seen what are the areas where big data is used: digital industry, banking sector. We know this size of data we have in banking sector because banking sector deals with the transactions. We know what will be the number of transactions happening in one day. So they need more kind of analysis to do everything, to offer a customer an offer, something, a discount or something, and to know the customer, even the CIBIL details what we are getting. For every credit card user, we have a CIBIL, how it is calculated. It's not just an easy calculation, right? We have to know the customer and the behavior of the customer, how the customer make the payment in time. Is he making payments in time? We have to analyze n number of factors. Then only the CIBIL rate can be arrived. So for that, they have to work on a big set of data. I'm not saying that they are using big data for all these use cases. I'm trying to give you an insight like where we can apply big data. As I said, even in telecom, they are using in many sectors. For example, if you take Airtel, previously Airtel we can able to view everything in a web UR, GUI, right? The usage, whatever. That was a batch, which means yesterday whatever I have used, consumed, what was my data consumption, everything I will come to know on the next day, which is a batch processing. Whereas when you go for a real-time processing, now they have an app called Atal app. Sorry, I'm not sure if the screen got toggled or something. Sorry. So big data and the data we generate, about SPS cinema we have seen. The implementation in politics. I will go to in details how they implemented in the politics. Yesterday just I have given an overview, but today I will say how exactly they implemented. So in other sectors like banking, telecom, they are using. I'm just giving you an example of Airtel. Now they are using an app called My Airtel. When you look into this My Airtel app, they are dealing with n number of things. What was the customer package right now he is using? What is the validity? Ganesh, you have ping no. Okay.
That was the old one.
Okay, fine. Great. Okay. So even in Netflix, have you anyone using Amazon Netflix to watch the movies or something? When you watch such movies, even it gives you an auto suggestion to watch this, and people are also interested in. People are also watching something. They will give you a recommendation based on the history of whatever the movie you are searching or just watching. Based on it, it will give you some suggestions, some movies. Even in Netflix, we will watch some series, right? Some famous series. They have their own like what we see in India like dramas. So they will have the series, some sort of series. Yeah.
Even in YouTube, we can get that.
Yeah. Even YouTube, whatever we browse, within some time, we will start getting some recommendations. If we keep on searching for big data, Hadoop, you will get the list, next list, whatever the suggestions it's giving you. It's based on what you typed. If you typed Hadoop, it will give you suggestion of Hadoop videos. If you type HDFS, HBase, it will start giving you recommended, suggested as a HBase videos. So how this is processed? Actually, this data is processed in the backend. So whatever we search in their server, that is whatever we are searching it, based on the IP address, our laptop will have IP. So it will have a record that this IP is traveling through these topics. Traveling, it seems we are just searching or watching this kind of videos. So it will have a track. And based on that track, it will apply some algorithm. It's not everything using Hadoop and Spark that we have to remember. Please remember one thing. When I'm saying big data, it's not only mean for Hadoop or Spark. They maybe might be using more than that, like machine learning, everything in the backend. Since I said big data is a concept, so they are applying a concept somewhere. So we have seen big data definition, the 3V: volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. I have told you like volume, the size of volume we generate; velocity, the speed of data, 50 Mbps, 100 Mbps, 150, 200 Mbps, such things. So the variety, structure, unstructured, semi-structure we have seen, right? I'm just running through it so that I'm not going again into a detail. So we say Hadoop as a solution for big data problem, whatever the challenges we see. So what the challenges we have seen? So this is the challenges we have seen, like storage, processing, cost, data loss. And how it is addressing storage, I will come to it. So the history of Hadoop we have seen, scale and scale out. What Hadoop is not. So today I will just running through this thing. Before going into what is Hadoop, I will just explain you what they have done in the US politics, like what they did, how they worked out. I have just seen positive, negative, and swing, which means favor, unfavor, swing. They have categorized the people into some categories. How they did it? What was the source of the data they used to arrive such statics data? So in US politics, we know in US you have a social number or some kind of number like in like Aadhaar number in India. What was the number? I don't exactly remember.
SSN.
Sorry?
SSN.
Yes, and okay. So
No,
each
SSN.
SSL.
Yep.
Oh. So consider you have a unique number for a person. So what they did, they created another alternate unique number for a X person. Consider if you people are there in the US, if you are US citizens, will be more happy, I think. So they will have one number for Anbu, one for Ganesh, one for Shankar, and one for Selvam. Like each person will have a unique ID. Apart from this ID, because this is something dealing with the government. So they, if they use this number, they will be in soup. Cambridge. Have you ever heard this organization name, Cambridge Analytica?
Yes.
Yeah,
Is
they
the
are
Facebook which use this Cambridge Analytica?
exactly. So the scandal, the scam, what they made through Facebook.
Yep.
Now many know what is Cambridge, who are Cambridge, but previously it was a hidden secret. Only few of them know. Many of them don't know what is the Cambridge Analytica or something. It's an organization which deals with data. So this Cambridge Analytica helped Trump or Obama, someone, to achieve their goal. How they helped or how they made the analysis. They just assign a, as I said, unique number to each and every person. If you consider you have 1 million in America, they had 1 million IDs for each. 1 million IDs. Okay. And they categorize the people into three categories. Favor, considered a X party. For a X party, the favor, the number of people, or the percentage of people is 40 or 30 something. Some percentage they arrive. These many peoples are in favor with this party. So, not favor, not in favor. So consider this is around 38 percentage. Swing. There may be peoples who are not favor to both of the parties. They might be in a mid position. They feel whatever right at the time of voting, they will vote them. They will have, still we have such peoples, even in India we have, right? So this is 22 percentage. So how they arrive this favor not favor swing? Through data. So what are the types of or the data what they collected? Since we know that in US everyone has some IDs like in Aadhaar in India, so they made use of this one. Whatever you do or activity, whatever you purchase, for example, when you purchase, you use a credit or a debit card. So you will be having a TV, right? And set-off box kind of thing, imagine. Again, it will have a subscription or something, which will be tagged again to this number, the SSN number, what you told. So the mobile number, even the mobile numbers, you will be having a mobile number. When you at the time of purchasing, you would have provided again the SS number. So they are identifying a person using this SS number, and they are collecting the data according to that number. They are collecting the data, credit card, what they are doing with the credit card, the type of purchase they are making, to analyze what kind of person he is. Is he purchasing something very basic, only a grocery things, or is he consuming some alcoholic thing or anything else? They want to know what type of person he is, the characteristic. With the TV, everything, consider he is subscribed to a magazine. They just want to know what type of magazine he is purchasing or what type of magazine he has subscribed to know what he is interested in. I will give you a very simple example in India. If, like in Tamil Nadu, we have DMK, ADMK. Someone in favor of DMK, someone in favor of ADMK. If someone is in favor of DMK, what channel he will be watching or what news he will be watching every day? Anyone? Vice versa, ADMK. If he's an ADMK, what channel he will be watching and what news he will give preference or something.
Sun TV.
Exactly. So Jaya TV, Sun TV, we all know this. If someone is watching only Jaya TV, we can judge him that he is an ADMK guy, right? So I'm just giving you an example how they made this analysis. So what they are going to do with this television data, what they are going to do, we will have a question, right? So I'm just giving you an idea what they are going to do with. So the magazine, the type of magazine. Some magazine may be covering some political party, some magazine may be covering some other political party. We will have some common magazine for sports, business. So they want to know what type of person he is. Is he more interested in sports, or is he more interested in business kind of thing, or is he in search of job, requirement of job? Each and every person, they just made an analysis using different data. Since I have told they are using these many data, I'm not saying that they are restricted to this data. I'm giving you a sample of data what they used. So with this data, they have made an analysis that an X person is of X type and he will be in favor or not in favor or a swing guy. They will have an analysis and judgmental thing that this person is a swing person. If you go and approach him and if you give some good things or whatever, since they are making again a sentimental analysis and the person analysis, what kind of person is, they will campaign the person according to his need. Consider he need a job, they will meet him and they will say, if you vote for so and so, our party, we will we will introduce more norms on H1B1 visa. So the persons, they are not coming from other states, you will have jobs. Get what I'm saying? Yeah.
I think there is some echo on your voice or any in the class.
One minute, let me check.
Yep. I think Anbu is also facing the same thing.
Okay, okay. If someone is unmuted, can you just mute your mic? Now is that okay?
Yes, now somewhat okay. Well, let's see.
Okay, fine. If something else, you just let me know.
No, we are we are getting same issue.
One.
Looks like it's an internet issue.
Like yeah, like a signal issue.
Signal issue.
Okay. Do you have the same issue now?
It's a data loss happening.
Yeah, it's better now.
I think my voice is breaking.
Data loss.
Now, is that stable?
And now I'm hearing you.
Okay, is that
That
clear?
is better now.
Yeah, no echo or no disturbance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, fine. Okay, if any issues, just unmute and you can speak it. Okay, now everyone is in mute. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so just making a judgment or analysis that X person is of X type and he is in favor or not in favor or in swing. So if he is in favor, there is nothing much to do with him, right? If we know some guys, whatever you say, he will vote to him blindly, right? Even they make such analysis that this person is 100% favor in with this X party. So like we will take Trump. This person is favor with Trump. Whatever you do, even the opposite party, whatever they canvass or campaign, he will not change. So we no need to work on this person. Let leave him. Let go to another person. He is in favor with us, but a 50 percentage, not a 50 percentage, with the 80 percentage or some sort of percentage. So we have to work a little bit on this. Just go and meet, just to say hi, hello, and say we are from this campaign X party that from our we are from Trump team. So we like to we are glad to know you that you are a supporter and thanks for supporter. We are just giving you something and we are just making him comfort. So the guy who is in swing, he will not be favor to anyone. So if you just canvas him in a right way, that might be your vote bank. That 22 percentage you can convert up to some percentage to your vote bank. They will approach him, consider he is a American guy, right? American guy who don't want other country person to be in his country. So they will approach him. They would have analyzed him through other social medias like Facebook or anything. Already they have made their analysis and know this person is kind of this mentality. So they will approach him saying that we will try to minimize the other countries migration or invasion into here. We will make sure that our people will get more jobs, such kind of thing. And they will have some strategy saying that these are the things what we are going to bring in to make the job opportunities more for our people. So that kind of campaign, they will target each and every person. As I explained, when you target advertisement, when you're doing something online, it's easy for them to analyze and give you some suggestions. When people are there, even out there, we can't predict just with the online. So we have to go beyond that and make some analysis beyond that to know each and every person. I will show you like how they have a map. Just an example. I'm just toggling the screens. You're able to view, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine, great. Consider we have a street. I know that street won't be like this was, but bear with me. Consider we just have a street or something. We have a house here. We have houses, right? 1, 2, 3. They have already made such analysis, and even they are making it daily because people might get changed daily, right? Due to the activity what the politicians does, what the campaign they does. So they will be keep on analyzing the people. So they will have a tag on this house, saying that this house, the persons living in this house, the entire persons are not in favor. Whatever you do, they won't change. So no need to camping this house because there is no use of. But still, they will be doing. They will not be doing with a much focus. The minimum they will do, and they will have a tag to this house saying that it's a green, like they are will favor 100% favor, and a little work we have to do with these people. We have to meet them. We have to know what is what they expect, and promise. If they're expecting something, we have to say how we are just going to work on it. Just a minimum strategy we have to apply. For this house, they will have a tag of orange, which is swing. I'm giving you an example, not saying that this is how exactly they're doing it. I'm just giving you a view how they did it. So like they will have an orange tag here in this for this house saying that the person who is there, he is a swing guy. We have to approach him, and we have already they have made a sentimental analysis, what kind of all the analysis, like what kind of person he is. So they will approach him, and they will campaign him according to his needs or according to his mindset. If he is a jobless guy, they will say that we are going to increase the job. This is the strategy. Whatever we are going to apply. Even they will get their again they will get their details with a form. They will provide them a form saying if you just fill a form, we will get in touch with you soon. And before the elections, before the campaigns are over, 1 week or 2 week, before 1 week or 2 week, again they will call this guy to just give them a reminder that we are from so and so Trump party. So we are working on this. We will be glad and great if you vote for us. They will just remind them. So this kind of static and analysis they will be having. The type of analysis they are using is just not limited to some tools. They will be having n number of tools, n number of algorithm, n number of charts. Have you ever reviewed a chain chart? There are charts, plots, graphs, everything that describes different things and different strategies, different statics. They had so many data, and they made analysis. I'm not sure what's the timeline they have taken to collect this data and made this analysis. That I'm not sure about it. At least now you have an idea what they did. We said they worked on big data in the US politics. How they work, I'm just giving you an overview. Are you people okay getting something like how they implemented big data here? Because to make this such kind of analysis, I said they are working with a different data. To work with a different data, imagine the size of data what they would have collected. Because there are millions of people in US, so they will be having a data of all these millions of people in a different format, different way. How they will be connecting this data? Yes, no, something. I thought of giving a more overview on this.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. So this is nothing. I'm just giving you an example like a different data. What the TV, what I said, the magazine, the credit debit card purchase. If you don't mind, can you mute your mics? Because I see someone unmuted. Okay, thank you. Okay, credit card, debit card, and then mobile usages. Instead of saying mobile, I will say social medias. Social media, they know the person Facebook ID, everything. They will have it. For X person, they know the ID of this person because they will be seeing what kind of posts he is making. in favor and not in favor or something, they will make such analysis. Even they will send some post to this guy, a different post to the favor guy, a different post to the not favor guy, right? The guy who is in swing, they will send a different post to him in the Facebook, or even they target in the social media. Not only they camping going to their houses, they camping in a different way, whatever the communication means possibles. So they brought all this data here, big data, made the analysis, and they just had some few reportings projecting the strategy and the status, like what are the kind of people we have, what are the types of people we have, and what are the strategies we need to work on this type of people. Because if you take just 10,000 people, there may be more categorized people. Like some people may be more interested in wars, like they are always looking for some fightings. So they will project something like a fighting scenario. We will be fight for this. We will be fighting with this country for this, so and so. So some need peace, right? So they will be focusing. They will be canvassing with the peace. We are just going with this strategy to make peace in our country. Such kind of things they will make. Okay. So okay, are you clear on this? If you're clear, it's okay. I will just move on.
Yeah, okay. We're clear on where the data comes from.
Yeah, okay, fine. So at least now you got an idea what type of analysis they make on a theoretical bar. I'm not saying what type of tool they use. That's a different thing. Let's not go into it now.
Mhm.
Okay. So, okay. Now I will come to this part. So the big data challenge is what we seen as this storage, processing, cost, data loss. So we say Hadoop will provide a solution for these challenges. So what is Hadoop? It's a framework. It's a framework which was developed in Java. So how it overcomes this part, storage processing, it uses a distributed fashion, HDFS, which stores the data in a distributed way and stores the data in different nodes and also process the data in distributed fashion. When you're storing the data in a distributed, when you compute the data, you want to process the data. Most of the software, what it does is, it will bring the data to a single node, it will work the data there, and it will provide you a result. So there is a bandwidth issue with this. Bandwidth, when the size of the data get more, you will have the bandwidth issue, right? Okay. Okay, consider I am just storing a data in a distributed fashion. Here, data, for now ignore the terminology what I'm using, data node 1. So it's data node 2, data node 3. What I mean to say is, I'm just storing the data in this data nodes. Not only storing the data and also processing the respective data in the same data node. For example, if I want to, in other software, how it behaves. If I want to process a data, what it does, it brings the data. If the data is stored in this two data nodes, this data node 1 and data node 2. If I want to process the data in this node, it will bring this data here first. And it will process the data here. So again, you will need a bandwidth for this. Consider I am storing the data here. I am storing the data here. And I am also processing the data here. A minimum processing. For example, if I'm doing a sum, consider this data have 2, 3, 4, and this data have 5, 6, 7. I'm going to just sum up this data. 2 plus 3 plus 4. 4, 7, 9. 13, 18. So 18. Then the result of this computation processing, I will just bring this result here. And I will just summing up 9 plus 8. So do you got what I mean? So I'm storing the data in a distributed fashion. Not only storing the data, I'm also processing the data in a distributed fashion. When you do the processing at the same node, the bandwidth, the data movement will get reduced, whereas it will be an optimized way of processing a data. So that's how it processes very fast. When you go for other softwares or how it process, it will bring the data to another node, to a common node. It will try to work the data, process the data there. So there you will have a bandwidth issue. Are you people clear on this? If someone not getting, someone have doubt, please speak out. Or you still have some issue with my audio? Okay.
So this is basically, so you're clearing the concept on there.
Sorry, can you come again?
No, this is you're clearing. I mean, you're telling the distribution data concept. Is that the one? No, this is distribution node.
Yeah.
So web this is used in Hadoop.
Yeah. This is how Hadoop will process. I'm saying that Hadoop will address your storage and processing. When I say that it's going to process very efficient when compared to other tools, how it's processing. So it's storing the data in a distributed fashion. It not only stores the data, it also processes the data in a distributed fashion. Whatever the data it's there in this X data node, it's going to process in that respective node, and it will bring the result to a common node, and it will try to bring the end result. Yeah, this is how it process. Hadoop, this is how it process.
So you mean the other nodes will not do this way? This is the specialty for Hadoop? Is that?
I'm not saying that only this is the specialty. I'm saying that this is how it addressing. For many of the tools, there will be more data movement. They will bring the data to a common node for a processing. Whereas Hadoop does even the processing in a distributed fashion. I'm not saying that only Hadoop uses this technology. I'm saying that Hadoop uses this technology, so the processing speed is more on Hadoop.
So we'll be having the same algorithm in all node.
Yes, basically we will have. So the MapReduce is the one which handles this algorithm. The processing and the steps, whatever the processing way, rules, the set of rules. MapReduce will follow all the set of rules, and it will take responsibility for this computation.
For all nodes.
Yes.
No, the MapReduce will be installed in all nodes.
Yes.
Including the parent.
Are you getting this? So I'm trying to say how Hadoop is addressing these challenges what we are facing in big data. So when we go for cost, how it addresses this cost issue, it's use commodity hardware. Commodity hardware is something, when we go for hardware, there will be some classes. Class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5. I'm trying to explain you in a different way, but please don't wrongly predict that this is only exactly the concept of the theoretical, what this means. Okay. So I'm just giving you an example. When you go for a hardware, you will have different classes in hardware. So consider a class 1, class 2, class 3. So this will be the highest and this will be the lowest class. When you go for some memory card, have you seen some class 1, class 2, class 3 memory cards? Anyone, have you ever seen this? When you use a professional cameras, high professional Canon, Nikon cameras, you would have seen a memory card with the classification of classes, class 1, class 2, class 3. Have you ever seen anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Premium, high, alternate.
Yeah, you may have a different name, but those are classes. I'm putting it as a class for easy understanding. So when you go for the higher end class 1 memory card, it has a good speed and the data reliability is more on that SD card. It will not get corrupted easily. When you go for very low class 5, it may easily get corrupted. You have to format it, and again you will lose the data whatever you have stored in that. So the class 1 memory card will cost you something high, considered $100. I'm giving you an example. So this may cost you around $20 to $30, even less than 20 maybe. To just give you an understanding, I'm just saying it. So Hadoop will be using a commodity hardware, whereas the other softwares, when you go for the other RDBMS, Oracle, MySQL, they will be using class 1 hardwares. The recommended hardwares is when you approach this RDBMS for a solution, they will say that this is our hardware specification. This what we prefer, and this what we works. This is how our software or tool is built on. So we will be forced to go with this hardware. Again, it will cost you 100. Whereas when you say Hadoop, it runs on commodity hardware. It may use class 2, class 3. For the master nodes, it will use this class 2. For the slave nodes, it will use this class 3. When you go for a less classes of hardwares, you may have the chances of data loss, right? I'm addressing the cost through this commodity hardware, but still there are chances of data loss when I'm going for a less hardware specifications, right? So how Hadoop is overtaking this? There is something called as replication factor. What Hadoop does is when we are saving a X file test.txt, this will replicate the file into the n number of files whatever we specify. The default replication is the default replication is 3. When we save a text test.txt, it actually keeps 3 copy of test.txt in different nodes. I have showed you this nodes, right? So when I save this, it will have the test.txt file in different nodes, keeping a different copy in a different node. The default is 3. Test.txt. Test.txt.
Okay, one question, like,
Yeah.
does it mean that we didn't have any data loss? I mean, zero loss always?
Yeah, at a max point, because when this node fails, consider, since we will be having hundreds, thousands of node in Hadoop, right? So when this node fails, what happens to my data? Still my test data is there in data node 2 and data node 3. Hadoop knows it. When one data node is lost, still it has 2 copies. You getting it? How this data is
Yes.
replicated, how if this data node is failed, what happens? We will see that in HDFS. No worry. I'm giving you an overview. How come it's addressing the challenges?
So does it mean it maintains a copy or replica in all the nodes?
Not all the nodes. It depends on the number of copy what we specify. If we say that we have 3 copies of X file, it will maintain 3 copies. If I mention 2 copies, I'm saving another file. Consider I'm saving another file with 2 copies. It will have only 2 copies.
Okay.
Test1. Consider the file is test1.txt. Test1.txt. It will have 2 copies in a different node, because there is no point of having different copies in the same node, right? If the node fails, again it's a data loss. Are you people getting this? If someone is not clear, you can ask.
Where is these nodes?
Where is this nodes?
That means how it has been assigned.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
these are,
Have you ever seen a server room in your organization?
yeah.
That is your nodes. Server is nothing but we will have a rack, right? We will have a nodes, different nodes.
So you're talking about these are physical rack.
Yes, exactly. Physical nodes. I'm saying that these are physical nodes. I do remember I said like each node is like a laptop. Consider it as a laptop for now.
Yeah. Okay. So the DN1 and DN2 and DN3.
Yeah, consider DN1 is my laptop, DN2 is your laptop. We are having an X file, copy with you, me. If my laptop fails, still you have a copy, right? I can get it from you.
Yeah, but it's a redundant, data redundant and duplicate, right?
Yes. Since they are going with the commodity hardware, they cannot keep one copy, right? If the data node fails, there will be data loss. They know that the challenge what they are going to face in commodity hardware. Since they are going for a less class hardware, there are possibility of the hardware getting corrupted. When it get corrupted, there is a data loss, right? There will be a big question mark like how we are going to handle this. When I'm saying that I'm going to reduce my cost, this is how I'm going to reduce the cost using a commodity hardware, this kind of thing. In the first question, what it comes into a mind of an architecture or a well known admin, how we are going to address this loss. If my data not fail, my data will be lost, right? Then how we are going to address this? The answer to this is we are going to replicate it. Hadoop, the way of Hadoop handling. Still someone not getting this?
Yeah, so it's basically it's a failover management, right?
Yeah, failover management, exactly.
Okay, so but I have one question. So it will be okay. I want to keep my data, so it will be organization-wise. They will decide it is to maintain 2 copy or 3 copy, or it is a
Exactly. Data critical.
table by table. It will not be not
Yes.
by table, right? It is.
Yeah.
It's organization policy. Okay.
Consider we have a very critical data. Even they will have 10 copies of the data. Consider which is very less critical. Even the data get lost, I never mind. I will have only 1 copy. That depends on the data criticality, how critical the data is. According to the data critical, we will be setting those parameters.
Okay. One more question. Like when we start to process, right?
Okay.
How are we going to access which node it is going to be take?
That will be taken care by MapReduce.
Okay.
To answer
So
this
for an
exactly,
example,
it will
for an
approach the
example,
nearby node, whatever node it is nearby. Like when we go for a shop, we know that all the shop will have this X products. Consider I'm going to buy a chocolate. Every shop will have a chocolate, but still, to which shop I will be going, which is very nearby, right? When I get down from my house, get out from my house, which is very nearby, I will approach the shop and I will buy the chocolate. Consider if the shop is closed or if it is busy, very busy, it's a long queue. Still, I have a number of shops. I will go to the next next shop, and I will look for it. If it is very free, I will go there and I will purchase my chocolate.
okay. So this assigning is done by the only MapReduce.
Yeah, MapReduce will take care of this. Nothing to do with
Okay.
us.
Okay, keeping the number of copies and accessing the data
Yes,
from
yes.
each node is by
Keeping the
MapReduce.
storing part is handled by HDFS. Whereas
So
the
where it is
processing part, yeah, where is going to store, what will be the number of copies, how many copies replication, this will be taken care by HDFS. The processing, where you have to process, do we have all the resources in this data node? Consider this data node is already occupied with some other jobs. So you will not have a RAM to process, right?
Okay.
In this case, what we are going to do? We have to schedule this job in another node, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that MapReduce will decide. It will have a DAG, direct acyclic graph. It knows which node is very nearby. When you go for a rack kind of thing, you will be having some IP addresses, right? When I say which is nearby node, I'm not talking about the node which is next to next rack level. I'm talking some servers may be in India, some servers may be in US. Even in India, some servers may be in Tamil Nadu, some server may be in Delhi. The server which is in Delhi, is that nearby server or the server which is in Chennai? I'm working in Chennai. Is this server in
So
Chennai
that,
is nearby? Yeah.
so here that means that nearby in the sense that means that
The bandwidth.
the bandwidth. Okay.
Exactly.
So the question, okay, I have a question. So when you say nearby, it is only for the processing data or where to pick up the data, the location of the data?
For storing data, it does not read much analysis on this. But for
No, you don't analyze.
Yeah.
Which one is deciding? MapReducer is deciding where to store or?
No, HDFS will, storage part will take care by HDFS. Processing will be taken care by MapReduce. When you
So
store
while retrieving the data,
Yeah.
while retrieving the data, then which one will decide? From it has to guide right where to go and pick up the data.
Yes.
So whether
When
MapReducer will decide on.
HDFS will decide that HDFS will guide MapReduce, saying that you are requesting so and so data for a processing. So this data is very nearby. Go and access this data.
Okay.
But still, MapReduce has to ensure that the resources are available in this data node. It will get the data, but to deploy the job, it should have a resource. Consider the data is in data node 1. I am having a resource in data node 2. That is a RAM in data node 2. What it does, now it will take the data node 1 data into the data node 2 for processing. Don't get much complicated. I'm just putting you very simple.
Okay, then is there any master node kind of thing which will?
Yeah, whatever the questions you are asking, this will be addressed when we go for the individual tools, because these are the thing what we are going to discuss in the tool level.
Sure.
No worry. It's not that everything we have to put into an understanding right now. On a higher level, if you understand, that's well and good. That's what I said. For storage, HDFS will take care, and for processing, MapReduce will take care. So that's where I mentioned here. For storage, HDFS will take care. For MapReduce, the processing, whatever we said, processing methodology, terminology, algorithm, everything will MapReduce will take care. Nothing.
Yeah,
To
Usman.
Yeah.
Yes, Usman. Now only we come to know what is HDFS and MapReduce.
I'm glad that you got it.
So just
Because we have to go in a flow. First, we have to understand what is what. Then only if you get into the tool, you will be in a better understanding where it is placed and why it is used.
yeah, just before 2 minutes, I didn't know. So what is HDFS? What is MR? What is storage? What is processing? I didn't know anything.
I'm glad that you got the point, what I tried to communicate. So are we clear that how Hadoop is addressing this big data challenges? Maybe to some point. I'm not saying are you 100% clear. I'm asking you at least have you got any idea how it addresses?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, great. So why Hadoop? As I said, it has many. What is the scale in and scale out? Anyone come across this terminology? What is the scale in or scale out?
Scale in basically the way you can increase the
Number of nodes.
number of nodes or size, and in within less cost. Or
Can I
something
put it like upgrading?
upgrading? Yep.
Exactly. Like
On a
if
need,
I, yeah, sorry.
yeah, go ahead. On a
Okay,
need
fine.
basis, if I want to upgrade, I go ahead. If I
Okay.
if I see that I am not going to use it much, then I can take out something.
Exactly. So, okay. So consider I have a laptop. When I said I need 8 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM to perform this VMware Cloudera, right? Everyone, they were thinking what next to be done. So they had a laptop with a 4 GB RAM with a two slot, 2 GB and 2 GB, right? So 2 GB slot plus 2 GB slot. So now what he needs is a 8 GB RAM for a minimum requirement. So what he will do ideally, so he have to replace the slots with a 4 GB RAM plus 4 GB RAM, right? I'm upgrading it. I'm taking this 2 GB 2 GB slot and I'm just inserting and I'm just installing it 4 GB 4 GB RAM. This is something upgrading an existing setup. So consider I need a 8 GB. Already I have a system with 2 GB. Again, I'm repeating this here. So have you got this one? What I try to mean? 4 GB 2 GB 2 GB plus 8 GB 4 GB 4 GB plus two slots we have. This is something upgrading the existing system. Consider X laptop. Again, this is X laptop. I have upgraded the X laptop. The X laptop had 4 GB. I upgraded it to 8 GB, 4 GB plus 4 GB plus different slots. So consider another scenario. Y laptop. Y laptop, it had 4 GB with same configuration 2 GB. But my requirement is 8 GB. Consider again, I need some extra hardware. That is the size of the hardware. I'm using 500 GB, but it requires 1 TB. So again, I will be upgrading this X laptop. I will be replacing the hardware, right? So here, what I will be doing, Y laptop 1. I will be just adding an extra node with the same configuration. Even you can just upgrade it that to have a higher end 12 GB laptop. You can just add one more node, I could say. Are you guys familiar with this node concept? Anyone? How we are adding a node? Okay, I will come to it. So at least are you clear on this part? I'm saying that existing laptop has a 4 GB. I'm upgrading the existing laptop with 8 GB. I'm saying that Y laptop has 4 GB, whereas I need 8 GB. So what I do, I'm just adding another laptop. I'm not saying that I'm replacing the existing setup or a hardware. I'm just adding another laptop, which I try to mean I'm just adding another node to it in a distributed fashion. Are you guys clear on this concept? If someone is not getting, please.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Okay. This is what something scale and scale out does, which is horizontal distribution, what they said. If you need some extra RAM, extra space, you will just add a node. You will not upgrade the existing setup, an existing node. If my laptop has 8 GB, I will add another laptop of 8 GB to get an 16 GB. I will not upgrade my same laptop. Does it make sense, the scale and scale out?
Yes.
So now, can someone answer what's Hadoop uses? Does it use scale in or a scale out?
Scale out.
Exactly. So because we will be adding nodes, right, to the clusters. So we'll be using scale outs.
So it will use both, right? Scale out as well as scaling.
There are possibilities, but 98% will use scale out. Because we will be adding nodes. If some node fail, if my laptop fail, I'm not going to decommission this. I will try to decommission this laptop. If it failed to decommission, I will just add another laptop. If again I need an extra node with the same capacity, I'm not going to upgrade the existing laptop. I will add another laptop. That's it. Why to go and keep on upgrading? If I upgrade something, what will be my loss? Anyone? Consider this 8GB, 4GB I upgraded to 8GB. So is there a loss here? Something we are getting loose when compared to this?
Yes. If your X laptop gone, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So this 2GB slot, will that be of any use? Can we do anything about this? We will try to sell. That's a different case. But still, if no one buys, what happens? It's a waste of resource, right? We have to throw it out. Whereas in case of this distribution fashion, scale out fashion, I'm not wasting my any of resources. If I need extra resource, I'm just going to add another node. If I need another 4GB, I will just add another node. Laptop 2. Even it's not a mandate that it should be in the same configuration. It can be 8GB configuration because different node will have different configuration. It's not always compulsion that all the nodes should be in the same size or same RAM. It's not that every node should be 1 TB, 1 TB, 1 TB. One can be 1 TB, another can be a 2 or 4 TB.
Usmanji, here
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said that the node can be go with different configuration. Okay.
Yes.
Then come back to the PowerPoint where you are saying the processing. So if my node is in different configuration, then will that have a impact on my processing time?
Not exactly, because when MapReduce is deploying a job, it will try to distribute the job accordingly. You said that you wanted to process 5 partitions. When it deploys the 5 partitions, it will ensure that the job or the load is equally distributed. It will not make use of the whole resource. Considered in this node, I am just consuming 1 GB of RAM. My job will consume 1 GB of RAM. Again, MapReduce will try to ensure even in this node, I am deploying 1 GB of RAM of job. Because if I just deployed 3 GB here, this 1 GB will get completed easily. Whereas this 3 GB, again, it will be a delay, right? So there is no point of achieving the parallelism. You got my point?
Okay, I got
Resources
that
are
point.
something
But,
different, yeah. Availability is something
but
different.
you are not.
Yeah.
But you are not fully utilizing the configuration of the Y laptop 2, correct?
Yeah,
Even here you
exactly.
will be 1
Exactly.
TB.
It's not that always I will be running only one job in the cluster, right? So when I say one job, I will using 1 GB for one job. Maybe I will use another 1 GB for another job. So the load is exactly balanced. So I will achieve the parallelism that all the process will complete in the same time. So there won't be a delay. There won't be a mean in processing 1 GB in one node and 10 GB in another node, because 1 GB will complete it easily, whereas the 10 GB again it's going to take time, right?
Okay, is it a mandate it has to equally distribute, or it sometimes it can
It
have
will
a little
try to
more in one?
equalate. It will try to equalate
Okay.
to achieve the
Okay.
parallelism. That's how you achieve the processing time, right? Else
Right.
there is no point of achieving the processing time, because 10 GB will take a different processing time, 1 GB will take a different processing time. If you deploy 1 GB in one thing, 10 GB in another thing, 1 GB will finish in 10 minutes, whereas 10 GB again it will going to take 100 minutes. It would always try to distribute it. On a worst case, it will make use of the entire resource to deploy all the jobs, and it deploy the entire job into this. The point, yeah.
Why do you split it? Like, why don't we just use the 4 GB straight away?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay. Consider I'm just reading a 10 GB of file. It's taking me 10 minutes. Okay, I will give you another example. Like 10 slides. I have a 10 slide. I'm giving you the 10 slides, saying that please go through the slides and have a idea on the topics, whatever it is in the slide. I will just ask you. Now, how much time you will take to go through all the 10 slides? Consider it is 10 minutes for an example. So I'm giving the same slide to 5 people. Same slide, 10 slide. I'm saying that first 2 slide you just go through it. Second 2 slide you take care. Third 2, I'm just splitting it to 2 slides. How much time you will take to go through that slides? Your respective 2 slides. Maybe in a 2 minute.
2 minutes, yeah.
Okay. Now, are we reducing some time here? So what is the difference in giving this 10 slides to one person and giving the same slides to a different person and asking everyone to go through two slides? This is something called as parallelism.
Okay. So then you run the tasks on both the things.
It's not utilizing the resources. I'm saying that the data is processed in a parallel fashion. So just don't get confused with this RAM kind of thing or some data sizes. Always remember a parallelism could be achieved when something is done in parallel. Again, if we have 5 people, I'm giving 4 people this 10 slides, and for the fifth one, for the fifth member, I'm giving another presentation with the 10 slides. But still, are they going to take same time to go through?
It looks like சின்ன வயசுல பண்ண கணக்கு முறை.
It might also depends on the availability of the RAM and everything.
Great. So that depends on the, as you said, that depends on the person's capacity. If I say every person have the same level of capacity, what will be your answer?
Then fifth one will be overloaded.
Yes,
Will take time.
fifth one will be overloaded and he obviously will take time. I cannot expect him to finish within 2 minutes. I cannot say, why can't you finish in 2 minutes, whereas these 4 guys can finish in 2 minutes? That won't be an ideal one. So that's how the data processing. I know for now it will be something, it's a hard time for you to understand, but no worry. As someone said that he had, now he got what is what. Later part when I'm explaining more things and connecting more things, you may get at that point. So don't worry that this guy got this point, I'm not getting it, how come? No worry. At some point he will also get it. Because each one experience and their understanding will be different. So some may getting some area and some may not be getting other areas. Don't get frustrated. I know many of them, even on an initial stage, I will share my personal experience. When I go through these tools, I was like, what is this here? I'm not sure in what I have put my head into. But later, when I keep on just exploring, repeating the topics or repeating the terminologies, when I go through HDFS, now I was able to connect with what in the initial stage I learned. Because in HDFS, you will be covering more in detail how it is saved, what is the master, what is the slave, how it works. Then you will get a better idea. Do you get it? No worry. Don't expect you have to be 100% sure on what I am saying right away, right now. You will get it later. Still, if you're not getting at some point, you have to be worry about that. Saying, yeah, still I'm not getting after this many classes. Then I will help you out. No worry. Don't panic. Okay. On an overview, have you got how Hadoop is addressing these points? Okay, when you go to the slide, have you got an idea like what is scale in, scale out?
Okay, current career choices like how big data, what are the opportunities in big data? Like as we know, every organization will have different roles, architecture, developer, and for testing, for support, everything. So this slide deals something similar to it, where big data stands or how big data stands. Yesterday in a discussion, I just clarified you something like big data is not going to replace any RDBMS, whereas we will be going to use it in another way, maybe in a backend to process the data very fast. Okay. So what is big data not? So Hadoop, what is Hadoop not? So Hadoop is not an RDBMS. Hadoop won't replace RDBMS. It's a different entity. So real-time operations, since Hadoop has many restrictions, whereas it is not suitable for real-time. Why it is not suitable? How we'll be seeing it later. As I said, Hadoop is not solution for all problems because problem statement will be different. As I said, each use cases will have its own need and own purpose. So I cannot fit that purpose or need into this. I should have a tool for a purpose. I cannot fit a purpose for a tool. So that's a different case. Yeah.
Usman, somewhere we saw that it is going to be used in real time also, right? I think on the first day.
That's a Hadoop. I am now speaking about Hadoop, not Spark. Spark will be more used into a real time, whereas not purely Hadoop. When I speak Hadoop, somewhere some points may be constraining only to the HDFS MapReduce. It may not cover the ecosystem. Whereas we do have a Storm, STORM Storm tool in Hadoop ecosystem for real-time processing. But still, they will say Hadoop is not suitable for real-time processing, whereas maybe Spark is suitable because Spark, under the same framework, they have the tool, right? When I say Hadoop, the core component is HDFS MapReduce. Always remember, some point will be restricting to the HDFS MapReduce. So you will get confused at some point. So ideally, when you say, like, yeah, sorry.
At some point, we said Hadoop is OLTP, OLAP. That's what he's asking.
No, I said that OLTP, OLAP, it's not suitable for OLTP. It's suitable for OLAP, which is historical data, warehouse kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Hadoop is not best suitable for many small files. I will come to this in a HDFS section. When we will discuss HDFS, we will know what are the limitations of HDFS. Then you will get this answered. Please, someone remember these questions if you think something is important. And the same respective topic I will be covering. If I missed out, you can ask it. Because this you will be easily understand when we cover HDFS. Now, if I say again, there will be a confusion like this, this part.
No.
I don't want to go with this. No worry. So, okay, on a higher level, I'll just tell you how exactly it's used. So now at least are you clear on this, what is big data and Hadoop is a tool? How Hadoop addresses this big data challenges on a nutshell? I'm not asking in detail. Okay. When we say Hadoop, as I said, Hadoop has some core component. As I said, when you install Hadoop, you will get this default HDFS MapReduce. It has something ecosystem. I know that I have already repeated this point, but still I am repeating this point. Maybe at some point, some may get it able to relate it. So I'm just repeating it. So Pig, Hive, HBase, so other Impala, everything. Now you will get to know these tools. These are ecosystems. Ecosystem, as I said, it may be developed by a different organization. Later, it may be open source with Apache. So they have taken that open source software
and they have enhanced according to Hadoop requirement to just meet with Hadoop, latch with Hadoop. Okay. Now let us see basically how a system behaves. You will be having some front-end system. Consider this as a billing cache counter, and here you will be having something real time. Here you will be having a data warehouse. So when you are doing some activity, consider when you're billing or something, it gets feed into a server. This will be current time OLAP, which is current present data. This data will be fed here, whatever the present billing counter. For example, if I am just purchasing, they are making a billing everything, right? We are closing it in a 24 hours. Yesterday's 24 hours after 12 o'clock, it will be closed. The second day, then next day it will start. 20th September, it will start, right? So with this oil AP, when this data 24 hours data, yeah.
Supposed to be OLTP, right?
Oh, sorry, OLTP, correct. Great. So it's a typo. OLTP. Okay. Okay, thanks for it. So OLTP. So this is something current data I will be feeding. So later on when it is historical, when it completes 24 hours, I'm not going to feed anything with same date, right? So I'll be moving it to a data warehousing. So this is OLAP, data warehousing. So we will be using Hadoop in this part. We will be using Hadoop here in to do the OLAP activities. So we will not be using Hadoop here in case of OLTP. Can't use here Hadoop for OLTP. We can use it for OLAP. Are you getting this? Still in the front end OLTP, you will have the RDBMS. Maybe in future, maybe they will come up with some tools or something, because for the competition to give a tough competition, they will come up for sure. It will be a future forecast. For now, it won't support OLTP, because OLTP is something real time, something coming in, keeps on coming it. You have to keep on feeding, which is update, insert, something like that, right? Are you getting it? Okay,
So
we will
then
be
how we are using in a banking system, because most of the banking systems are OLTP, right? Does that mean like a Hadoop does not?
Yeah, when I say Hadoop, it's I said it's a batch. So they will be using some combinations, but still the real-time data will be coming to their RDBMS system. Maybe from RDBMS system, it will be feeding to Hadoop for a processing.
Okay.
Or if you want to process this, you will be taking it into Spark for a real-time process. For batch, you will take to Hadoop. For a real-time, you will be taking to Spark. Just allow me, I will just go to the next explanation. So you will get something. So consider this is my source. Source, which could be anything. RDBMS, my web logs, and other form of any data. So this is my Hadoop system. Hadoop. Okay. To work on some data using Hadoop, first we have to bring the data into Hadoop, right? So first I will be bringing this data into Hadoop system, because since Hadoop is a different framework entity, right? So to work on a data, I need to bring the data first into Hadoop. You will be having some data. Consider you want me to work on the data. What you have to do, first you have to ensure the data is available to me. then how you will be sharing the data to me? If it is a less size, which in a Excel format or something, you could send me in a mail, right? If the size of the data is huge, how you're going to share the data to me? Anyone? I'm just posting a question to you.
Yeah, just put it in the Google Drive.
Yeah, anything. Google Drive or any drives, cloud, anything. And you will be providing me the access with the location. There I can access that location, and I could copy the file to my system, and I could work on, right? So same like that, if you want to work with Hadoop, first you have to bring the data in. Bringing the data, you will be using different tool, Scoop, Flume, Kafka. For now, avoid in knowing this tool in detail. I'm just giving you an overview. To bring the data, we'll be using such tools. So first, when we bring the data, we'll be storing it. Storage. Obviously, we are bringing the data to process. So processing. And after processing may be like something converting an unstructured data to a structure, or even converting the structured data into more meaningful way. Maybe you will be having 100 columns in a table, whereas you may require only 10 columns. In that case, you will just take only those 10 columns. You will have population of India, whereas you're going to make some analysis on Tamil Nadu, Mumbai, Delhi, something. So you'll be filtering out only those data. Okay. So some sort of processing. So later you will be doing analysis. When we are converting a data, processing a data, we are doing this processing, storage, everything. Obviously, on the end of the day, we are going to analyze the data. So analysis. These are the phases. In normal, I'm not saying these are the mandatory phases which the data has to go in. I'm saying that these are the major things what we will be doing with the data. To store the data, we will be using HDFS. And we do have something HBase, we will come to it later. And for processing, we will be using MapReduce. MapReduce, Pig. When you come for Spark Core, data frames. For analysis, we may be using Hive, because Hive is moreover like an RDBMS, but not exactly an RDBMS, a data warehouse concept. So you will be using Hive because it will have some DB tables, whereas you can make your analysis. In Spark, you will have Spark SQL on a higher level.
What about Scala here?
We'll be using Spark, Scala in Spark.
What about NoSQL?
NoSQL is a database. Like SQL, what is if I ask you what is MySQL, it will be something RDBMS, right? Like NoSQL is a concept of saving a data, which is something different than normal RDBMS data concepts.
It's a columnar database.
We do have different types: columnar, key type, key value type, document. We do have a different types in NoSQL. Whereas we will be using this HBase for NoSQL in Hadoop. We will use HBase as a NoSQL database. Okay. Okay. Just give me 5 minutes. I will just completing this. So at the end of the day, any team, reporting or analysis team, external team, they can even just access this data. As someone said, if you remember yesterday in discussion, we said that we will be bringing a data, RDBMS data into Hadoop. We will be processing it. Again, we may provide the data same to RDBMS. We may feed the data to RDBMS. Even that may be some sort of requirement. So can I achieve these things only through Hadoop? No. Considered an X tool. Previously, we might be doing the same thing with some X tool. For your understanding, I will give Informatica. So using Informatica, you may be bringing some RDBMS data. You may be doing some data mining, data manipulation, everything, right? Once you have done, you will be providing it to a different team, maybe a reporting team, or you will be pushing back the same process data into RDBMS. Now, someone maybe have a question like where Hadoop use, why we are using it Hadoop. Now, can you able to relate Hadoop, where it comes in, where it fits in? Anyone?
So so data mining, right? You do data mining in the Hadoop.
Everything. Storage, processing, analysis, we will be doing everything. But the purpose we will be doing in a large data set. But still the organization are using very small data set, 10 GB, 15 GB, 20 GB on a daily basis. They are receiving data 10 GB, 20 GB on a daily basis. But still they are using a Hadoop. Because at some point when you are using 10 GB on a per day, consider imagine the size of data for 1 month, for 1 year, how it could be. So now are you able to on a higher level on an overview, can you able to see where Hadoop will be used and how it will be used?
Yeah. One more question. So on the storage, you wrote the two stuff, and the processing also you mentioned the two tools. So is this either this one or that one, or like we have to use?
No. For storage, I will be storing in my laptop, right? To work on the no, I'm giving you an example. Like store a data, I will just store in my desktop or somewhere, right? Which is NFS. Again, to process and to work on the data, I will be using different tools like Excel. In our laptop, I'm saying. A basic tool I'm saying. Excel, I will be using Excel to process the data, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So where the data is stored, it's in my hard disk, NFS.
Right.
How my data is processed? Using Excel, MS Excel.
Right.
So this is something similar fashion. So where the data is stored, the actual data is stored in HDFS. Who is going to process the data, or how we are going to process data using what tool? We'll be using MapReduce, Pig, Sparko to process the data. That's a tool. For your understanding for now, you can keep it as a tool. So they are different entity. It does not mean alternate. Either it's a HDFS or it's a MapReduce. No. HDFS is for storage, MapReduce is for processing.
So the HDFS is a kind of my hard disk.
Exactly. If you could see here, for storage, I mentioned HDFS. For processing, I mentioned MapReduce. Because you will be storing the data into HDFS. There is no doubt in it. Again, what is HDFS? Is a hard disk.
Yeah, Usman, just store this paint in some other place.
Okay, sure. I will be sharing.
What is the purpose of the pig Latin?
1 minute. Sorry, come again.
The pig latte.
Pig is a tool. Pig is a tool. MapReduce is written in Java.
Okay.
To use a MapReduce, you have to do some Java codings. Whereas Pig uses a Pig Latin. Pig Latin is a language which Pig tool uses.
So it's alternate for MapReduce.
Pig is a tool which is an abstract on top of it. Still, it runs on top of MapReduce. But it's an abstract. What it does is, since you have question, Pig uses a language called Pig Latin. What it does, it will convert this Pig Latin into MapReduce job, which is obviously Java code. On backend, it will auto convert this into Java code. So if you know Pig script, it is a scripting language, it will be easy for us. Even for Hive, we will be using HQL. I said HQL is a same as SQL 80%. When you fire the command in SQL, on backend it will be converting into MapReduce Java code.
So you're talking about the pig Latin is for non-Java users.
Yeah, for non-Java users, they will be going with Hive Pig this tool. For Java users, they can directly go with MapReduce.
Yeah.
So, okay, any others? Because since such time out, that's what I just wanted to cover. So I have covered it. So at least can you able to relate it somehow, like what is big data, what is Hadoop, where Hadoop comes, maybe on a higher level.
I have a last question. The no SQL and Spark SQL is the same.
No SQL is an DB, whereas Spark SQL is again moreover like a tool like Hive. NoSQL is mainly for storing the data. It's a data storage. So they are different entity.
Okay.
No worry. We will once we have covered this, what is Hive, everything. When you go for HBase, you may have a better understanding on this.
Yeah, Usman, I just pinged it here.
Sorry.
Just pinged. So what level? Okay, sorry, I was in mute. What level of Java we need to get the knowledge about it to code in Hadoop or?
For MapReduce, we do have some different sections like mapper, reducer. I will give you some samples because in MapReduce, we will be giving you some sample codes. Just go through it. You have to understand what are the codings. So once you are able to understand the codings, you will be writing those parts like mapper part, reducer part. So it depends on the projects, like whatever you need, the way you process the data. When I say SQL, I want to see a district level count, people population count. So what will be the query? Someone? It will be something like select star from table name. So whatever the group by the column which I need to group it, right?